So, welcome back everyone, and we are flying over our area today. And in today's episode, well, this is something we want to keep doing, is flying. And so we are going to work on a farm in this mountain range or hillside over here. As you can see, it's only really half finished. I kind of just ignored the back and just worked on the front. So in today's episode, I really want to work on the inside actually and ignore the back and the front. And we're going to work on down this way, working ourselves into a mob farm. But we don't need the mob farm for XP as we already have our skeleton grinder. So this is going to be a mob farm just for gathering the resources like the gunpowder and a few other things like the string and things like that. And so, yeah, we're going to build this up in this episode. But first of all, I want to explain a little bit about the redstone involved in this design. And so we're going to jump into the creative world to show you it there. So, welcome to my little creative world, and we've got a little section over here with a few little redstone things. Now, I am not particularly amazing at redstone, but I want to improve. And so as part of this, I'm going to do my best and explain it, or learn it myself and explain it to you and see if that helps out with the learning process. So in this build, we will be flushing the mobs out with water that will be dispensed on a timer, and we'll be using this little design here for the timer. So every time a signal comes in, the mobs will be flushed and then undone so that they can respawn again and continue to be flushed out. Now this kind of design here has kind of two layers. There's the bottom layer, which is the kind of on-off switching, and then the top layer here, which is the kind of timing aspect of the on and off. So this design uses hoppers for doing the switching. As you can see here, we have two hoppers that are just passing a single grass block into from one to the other. And there's a comparator coming out which will send a signal when an item is in the hopper, which we can track with a torch or with a lamp or whatever in this case we need to do. And as you can see, you will just keep getting a back and forth signal back and forth. But what we want to do is have a longer signal. And so to do that, what you can do is with the hoppers, if the hopper is powered, so at the moment you see these hoppers are not powered, but they still have an item being passed back and forth. So as you can see here, this torch is blinking just like those two over there. But as soon as we power it, it stops. This one here with the item is the one that's powered, and it just stops passing the items between it. So what we need to do on our top layer is work out a way of counting when and when not the hoppers will be powered. So it's essentially as if someone's here and counting on, off, on and off at the timing. So the bottom layer here of these hoppers is just passing one item between the two hoppers, but it's being slowed down by this top section, which has 10 items going from one hopper to the other. And each time it hits to the one, you'll see these comparators here will blink and power this and pass the item from one to the other. So in this little kind of demo here, we have two hoppers here. We have 10 in one and none in the other. And if we have one powered and the other one not, it will pass the items between them. And so now this one is powered. And when we reverse it, this one turns off and the other one turns on full because we have the 10. Now the 10 items is just a timing in this case. We could do it with 5 stacks, we could do it with whatever. It's just in this case using 10 for a given time of how long the torch should be on and how long it should be off. So to build something like this, I tend to build it in the layers. So to build the bottom layer, I would add an item, block item, so we can point the hopper into it. Do the same. 2 hoppers with comparators going out of it. Then we have 2 more blocks, and out of this one we can take a signal with a repeater to what we want to be powered, which in this case we'll just use the lamp again. On top of these we want some redstone, but you can also do it with blocks. We then take our comparators out of where our hoppers will be. We can use our block to make it easy to place the hopper. And then we will add in our 10 items and power it on. And in here we add our single item. And this torch should now be on for the length it takes to pass the 10 items. We'll be using this in the farm to cycle through water, like I said earlier. So yeah, we have the timing system on the top and kind of the power switch on and off on the bottom. Now, as I said, I'm not particularly fantastic with redstone, so it could be that I am missing the namings of these or getting the kind of concept wrong. So please do let me know. As I said, I want to improve in my Minecraft, and one thing I'd love to improve is my redstone. So I think what I will do is be doing a kind of Build It Better series as part of my Build It Better series, doing a redstone section. I'm working on a few more kind of basics up the way to more complex. So now we've seen the redstone, let's see how it looks like in the world. So we have a shulker box is full of the items we need, and I think what we're gonna do is just dig in through here and round to the side. So yeah, let's get digging and see how far we get. So the room is now big enough, and well, I hope it's big enough. So we're gonna work on the farm itself now and build it up. So yeah, let's get started. So to start this off, we are going to make a 21 by 21 and a 2 block high area. And this design is by Kmon, which I will link the original in the description if you want to go through it yourself. So yeah, let's go. Now, after clearing out this whole area, I did realize that it would probably be a good idea to get a beacon next time, because this took far too long to clear out. But with a beacon with haste 2, I don't think it would take that much time at all to do. But I've never actually defeated the Wither in-game, in a single player game, and so I'm not entirely sure I want to give it a go just yet. I think that's something that I think I would do when 1.18 comes out and when I start to kind of do a longer term build there. So now that we have done this section here, we then go into the corners and we count 7 out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then align it across that way. And we can add the torches in because we're going to be using water to flush this out. So eventually the torches will just end up in our sorting area. So I'm super excited for the next version to come out, and it is coming out very soon. When this video comes out, it will be a week or so before it comes out. So it is due to come out on the 30th of November. And I think what I'm planning on doing, as I've mentioned before, is to focus on the multiplayer server that I'll be invited in on. But I think what will be important for me is to also I love the exploration, and I think this new version is going to have so much exploration involved that I think I'll just have to get a single player setup going anyway. So now we come in with the water section. So what we can do is get ourselves infinite water supplies here and do the same on this side. So this setup here will have all the kind of mobs being flushed into this central point, and in this central point we will drop the whole thing down and have our kind of collection chamber in the bottom there. So I think we will go down, yeah, we'll go down another 6 here. And I think at this point we can have our hoppers kind of going into this direction into into our chest collection system. So let's just dig out this area into a little room where we can gather the equipment that we need, or gather the resources from the farm. And at that point we can kind of make it go back up to the main entrance area that we have. So in this area we want our 2 chests, or double chests there, and then this area we can just fill with hoppers. And actually I think I want to bring in more chests to go there, so let's grab some more actually. So on top of these hoppers we can then plant our soul sand campfires, which are the items that will be doing the actual kind of killing of the mobs. And then we grab a few slabs just to kind of block off this section, but still allow us to open the chests. And I mean, the campfires do make it look pretty cool from here, but we're gonna block this off, so yeah. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this whole thing up 3 more. So we're now up the extra level, and then we can start adding the spawning areas in. And one thing to note, I think it would be fairly easy. This is set up as all mobs, apart from Enderman. All mobs apart from Enderman, and so it would be relatively easy to update this, say for only creepers or for specific mobs. So I realized I added the water in, and now I've got the problem that, well, I need to actually build inside here. So I think I'm just going to drop in and build from a block. So what we need to do here is from, we go 3 up, 1, 2, 3, and then we go 8 out. And then we just kind of zigzag back to the corners and fill in this area. And while we're going, we don't want this to be a spawning platform just yet, so let's keep it well lit up. And we just repeat this shape on all the sides to create the platforms. Last time I built a mob farm, it kind of didn't go that well. Well, in the end it worked, but when I was building it, I kind of created it, made it too efficient before I was ready, and so I ended up getting a few creepers spawning and kind of halting my, explosively halting my process. So hopefully this one will be a little bit easier from that side. So there are our spawning platforms. Hopefully they are at the right height that everything can be flushed out underneath and into the campfires. So the next step is the flushing mechanism, which we figured out the redstone in our creative world, and we just need to bring it into this world. So let's grab our droppers, and in our middle place, these need to be droppers. So now that we actually have our dispensers rather than droppers, whoops, we can add our dispensers in here and place a water bucket in them. But in this one we will add the water out like that so that it will cycle. Okay, so that's the water in place. Now on with the redstone parts. So for this one we need to, at the level of the dispensers, place a row of blocks. So we can get rid of these just now, but including the dispenser level. And we do this all the way around. Now this last one we only need to go to the dispenser because we can start our redstone on this side and just send it around all the way to that other side. So if we extend our redstone area here, then that should give us more than enough space to build our section. So let's grab our repeaters, our torches, and everything we might need here. So we start with our 2 hoppers that will pass a single item between them. We go 2 blocks here, and here we can already set up our comparators that will be coming out of the next line of hoppers. And then we need our comparators out of these. We then have our blocks that will be powered. Our hoppers here, which in this case will have the 10 items in. We take our redstone torches here, and we then add a bit of redstone dust on top of these. So now we can see it counts down and gives us a signal. So if we come out of here, oops, with enough redstone dust to go around this whole thing, we should see when it triggers. We'll need a repeater out of here to give us a full signal. The water disappears and is back. So I will break that connection just now and then continue this redstone dust. So now that the redstone is in place, we can grab some more slabs and fill in the roof. And if we do this well, it does mean that nothing should spawn on it. So this is roughly where the middle of our farm is, and we need to go, to make this quite efficient, we need to go up to 100 blocks above the top of the farm. So that's a long way up. Now I haven't lit the area up so well around here, so it's probably not going to be super efficient, but I want to test it out and see, give it a 30-minute kind of run and see what happens there. Well, sounds like it's working. So we've been AFK for about 30 minutes. So gunpowder wise, we've got a stacking bit in there, half a stack in there, and another half stack, which isn't too bad, I think. Also gives us some rotten flesh that we can trade. raw chicken, I guess we had a chicken jockey, and some bones and other stuff, which could be useful over time. But the gunpowder is mostly what I would like from this farm. So I'm going to take the gunpowder and leave the rest for just now. You shouldn't be there, sir. I guess I should slab the roof fully. Yeah, so yeah, we are on top of our farm that we've built up in this episode, and I hope you've enjoyed it so far. This episode, it has been fun to kind of experiment with something I don't normally do in Minecraft, building up these farms and doing a bit of redstone. And I hope you enjoyed a little bit of a different style explaining it in the creative world. Yeah, I think I will, especially if I need to AFK a lot at the top, I think I need to go hunting for a jungle so I can get some bamboo and some scaffolding to make this sort of thing of AFKing higher up a bit easier without it looking terrible. And I also should spend a bit of time torching up this whole area so that we have a better spawn rate. But for now, for 30 minutes, to have 2 and a bit stacks of gunpowder is perfect for my needs in a single player world. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. If you've enjoyed it, please do leave a like and consider subscribing if you are new. And yeah, I will link the tutorial or the original tutorial for the farm in the description below. If you want some more information about it, please do check that out. And yeah, otherwise, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.